Double O Derek Cyrus. Good morning, brother. Good morning to California. How you doing? Old school's back in the house. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, old school, whatever it is for you over in Wales. Thanks for coming back, brother. Five-mile walk. That's a long way to walk for some tomatoes, Derek. I hope they're worth it. It's all gains, though. George is back. What's up, George? $3:30 also? Okay. So you're 5 hours up on us. Just doing some dips, some pulls, and some squats. I'm gonna go 10 down, dips and pulls, and each set of squats just 10 reps. Nothing crazy. Going neutral hammer grip today with the pulls. Okay, it's a fruit run. A 5-mile fruit run on foot. Yeah, old school. I'm actually, I got out of dreary old New Jersey the other day, and I'm actually down in Florida for a couple of days. Back to reality on Tuesday, though. Yeah, definitely old school. Walking 5 miles for the fruit. It's like your grandparents used to tell you. I used to walk to school 10 miles in the snow, uphill, barefoot, against the wind to get to school. Exactly that, each way. Igor's back. Hey, Igor. Thanks for popping back in, brother. Yeah, just nothing crazy today at the park, so everything's body weight. I'm gonna go 10 down. I'm doing 10 down on dips, neutral grip pulls, and then just doing a set of 10 body squats after each one. Respect back to you, brother. You know that, Igor. Thanks, Double O. Brother, enjoy the walk, okay? And enjoy that fruit. Appreciate you popping in. Have a great day out there. I hope your weather's half as nice as I lucked out with here. Guys, if you haven't already, I mentioned earlier when I was live, go over and check out my friend Igor. He's over in Russia. He's a beast. And he unfortunately suffered a serious hand injury. But he's a testament to, no excuses. I believe he had at least one surgery on his hand. Wasn't able to have really no use of his fingers, but he's crawling his way back. He's rehabbing it. He's doing the work. He's still out there working. He didn't stop. He's not using it as an excuse. I'm injured. I can't do anything. Right off the injury, I believe he was out there doing squats. Right. So what do we say? If you hurt your hand, your arm, and your legs are good, you work your bottom half. If you bump your toe, break a toenail, and you use that as an excuse not to work out, you can do the upper part. Right? No excuses. You can always get it done. And this guy is a perfect example of that. So make sure you check him out on his channel. One round, guys. I'll go around again. Got a little more time. So we'll go 10 down again on the dips here. Actually, maybe I'll go over and I'll do some regular pulls. I did 10 down with the hammer grip, so I'll try 10 down on the regular pulls. And after each set, we'll do 10 bodyweight squats. Guys, it's a little windy out today, so I don't know what you guys are hearing as far as the wind noise. I apologize if it's... I know that can get a little much when you're listening or watching a video. But I put the earbuds in hoping that it would cut down on it a little bit. Hey, Gloria. Good afternoon to you. Hope you're doing well over there. Haven't heard from you in a while. I hope everything's going well in the family. I know you're getting your reps in. I know you're finding time for that, right? Appreciate you popping in, huh? Losing count. Oh, sorry to hear that, Gloria. I hope you're doing well. Nothing real serious. Okay. But you're getting your swimming in. Nice low impact. Very smart. And you got your dumbbells, okay? Again, like my friend Igor over in Russia. You're another testament to that. No excuses, right? Igor, I don't know if you heard earlier, Igor had a serious hand injury. And he got right back at it with some squats. Kept working, he's rehabbing his hand. I'm glad to see you doing the same thing, no excuses. That's okay, I already read it. I already read it. But again, Gloria, I hope you're healing up well. Oh yeah, the running. Yeah. You know, Gloria, I was never much of a runner. You know, back in the day, when I went to the police academy, we did a lot of running. I came out of there just prior to graduation. We were doing 5 miles every morning. And to be honest with you, I didn't find it that difficult. And then throughout the years, I would tell myself I'm going to start running again, and I would go out and run. But I never kept it up. But I know quite a few people that I worked with. One guy in particular, he was a runner for many, many years, from the time he was like a teenager. And then by the time, I believe when he was in his 40s, he started having issues. And both of his knees were completely shot. They took a pounding over the years. So I don't know. Obviously, everybody's different. You know, you could have somebody that could run for 100 years and be fine. Was it his style of running? Was it the type of shoes he wore? Was it just his body wearing down? Who knows? You know, not to say that everybody that runs is going to beat that fate. It's like everything. You know, you don't want to admit it, but as you get older, you do have to slow down to some degree. And trust me, I'm one that hates to admit it. But at some point, we all have to face reality. But the bottom line is, it's not like you're going to do nothing, right? There's always an alternative, as long as you keep yourself moving and do some type of work, some type of exercise. It doesn't have to be running. You know, I don't know. I mean, you could go to like an elliptical, right? Something low impact, which is really my top form of cardio anymore. And I really don't do much of it. I warm up 10 to 15 minutes when I'm at the gym. I have an elliptical machine at home. Maybe a few days a week, I'll just go down and do 20 to 30 minutes on that. If I'm going to do a home workout, I use that. I like that because you're moving your upper and lower body. But yeah, there's always a way. There's always a way. Doing overhand, I forgot. Glad I wasn't doing 10 on that mistake. Yeah, old school. It really is hard to find quality equipment, to be honest with you. You know, most people start with that doorway pull-up bar. You know, the $20, $30 doorway pull-up bar, which I've had one hanging in my doorway, my kitchen doorway, for the past 20 years. But it's this high, right? So, and I don't like doing pull-ups with an arched back and without straightening my legs. I like to keep my legs straight. But what you're talking about, yeah, you know, you're going to run into some money, and what's going to be the right height, what's not going to be rickety and shaking all over the place. I mean, the best answer would, if you had a park, you know, within walking distance of your house, something like this. I actually came upon this. I'm actually, like I said, I'm down in Florida right now, and not that I'm a world traveler, but when I do travel somewhere, the first place I go is there's one website that lists, might be called calisthenicsparks.com, something along those lines. But anyway, you can go on and put a zip code in, put a city or something, and it'll show you an interactive map where these parks are. And it's not all inclusive, because I found plenty of parks that weren't on there, but this one was a little bit of a hike from where I'm staying, but it's well worth the ride. As you can see, I'm here on a Saturday morning, and where I'm looking right now is where the soccer fields are, so they're loaded with kids. And I'm back here all by myself. It's very rare that you go to a camp. I've talked about this before on videos. It's fortunate, but it's unfortunate, right? It's fortunate for us if we're going to be there working out, but it's unfortunate that people aren't making use of it, a free gym like that, you know. So like I said, I'm looking down that way. Granted, it's the kids playing soccer, but I've been here now going on, I don't know, at least an hour and a half, and not one person has popped in, other than a stray kid walking past. So. Well, you may have found a new passion, Gloria. Maybe swimming's your thing. You know, you had your time running. You know, and hopefully you will enjoy the swimming. You'll get. You know what? I got to be honest with you, and I'm not, because I'm not a runner, I'm not a swimmer, but in my mind, I'm thinking about it. I would think that in overall benefit, I think swimming, I mean, you could tell me I'm wrong, but I think swimming would be more of an overall benefit. I mean, cardio, strength, endurance, the whole thing. You know, whereas running, it's from here down basically, right? All right, it's great for the heart. You know, the cardio benefit, no doubt. But you know, like I mentioned before, you suffered an injury. You know, I've known a few other people that had injuries from it. So. Yeah, Eric, appreciate it, man. Yeah, we got to show these young bucks how it's done, right? Or at least watch them show us how it's done and try and do like they're doing for as long as we can. And like I said earlier, it's even better if you find a park someplace or something. But there's a will, there's a way. You'll always find something. I said on another live, I think it should be mandatory, built into every town budget. You have to have some type of, you know, calisthenics park for people. Eric, if you're still there, how old are you, brother? I'll do a couple more sets while I'm yapping, so I don't cool down all the way. So I did 2 sets of 10 down with dips, pulls, but I did 10 squats on each set. So that comes out to the 10 down is 55. So we did 110 pulls, 110 dips, and I guess that would be 200 squats, right? Just in that set, 10 down and then 10 down, and keeping the squats at 10. talking about these parks, I gotta say, this is really a home run. I mean, it doesn't get much better than this. They run the gamut like anything else, right? You'll run into a real shit park. But really, all you need is a couple of bars, parallel bars, and a pull-up bar, and you can get it done. But this park just so happens to have, I mean, 3 variations on the parallel bars, every type of pull bar you could think of, right? We have the monkey bars, different height straight bars. We have some rings set up. I mean, this is a real find. This is really a diamond in the rough, this place. Hey, thanks, Christian. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that. I appreciate you popping in this morning. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, again, Gloria, you know, I'm not talking from experience, but in my mind, just thinking about it, I think the return on investment with swimming has got to be way up there, right? The injury factor, I don't know, like what would be a common injury in swimming, you know, as opposed to doing really any of this. You know, there's always that possibility. Again, I don't know, I guess you can get a repetitive use injury with swimming too, but yeah, I just think that it just sounds to me that maybe it happened upon some, you know, everything happens for a reason, they say, right? But hopefully, I'm sure it'll work out for you. You don't seem like the one that's going to sit around. You know, you'll find something to do. Yeah, you joined the gym. Yeah, I tell you what. Again, I've spoken about this before in my other videos, but got my first gym membership when I was 18. Sometimes throughout my life, I've had two gym memberships. So I guess it was last year I broke down, and there was a gym by my house, 24-hour gym, and it seemed like a decent enough place, and I was going there. Long story short, through my medical insurance now, there's a different plan where I can actually get a gym membership cheaper. So I went into this gym after, I don't know, I guess a year and a half. You know, just to tell them that I was gonna, you know, end my membership. And with all of these gyms, you really have to be careful, guys, especially, you know, when you give them they have your credit card, or even worse, you know, like your debit card information. They have access to your bank account. But anyway, I went in, I want to, you know, cancel my membership. And, you know, it's built into their plan. It's built into the business model, right? To have all this bullshit when you want to quit that gym. It's got to be on this date. Pat your head, rub your belly, hop on one foot, sign on a dotted line. You know, so I had to cancel within 15 days of my next billing. Of course, it wasn't. So I sent them the letter. Then they sent me back another letter, fill this out, and it was going back and forth. Anyway, they wound up charging me for another month. And on the day they charged me, I figured, okay, if you're going to charge me another month, I'll at least have access till the end of that month. No, they just charged me that last payment in advance, and then cut me out. My swipe card didn't work that next morning when I went. But it's not worth the hassle of going through the whole thing. Apparently, it is built into the contract somewhere, the wording. It's not worth the $40 to fight them on it, to be honest with you. So you really have to be careful with these gyms. Yeah, old school. I mean, and again, I don't know how updated that website is, that Calisthenics. They'll have some blurry pictures of the park sometimes on there. And they do have like star ratings next to the park. And pretty much, it's been my experience, I've been to a few of them. if you go on that website and you see one that has a 1 or a 2-star rating, just stay away from it. They're pretty. If you have a 3 or 4-star rating, I've gone to a couple, and it's usually on the money. They're usually good parks, but again, what neighborhood is it in? Like you said, and who's hanging out in that park, right? It could be a beautiful park, could be a beautiful setup, but who knows what's lurking around there, right? There's an idea, old school. You have it right there in the backyard. I actually have my next door neighbor is a welder by trade. And I know he would do it. He's a very, very generous guy, and he's a very helpful guy. I've had some technical issues in the past, and anytime I call him, he's right there for me. So I know if I told him, I was looking to put some type of setup, and I have more than enough room at my place to do it, I know he'd be there probably the next morning with his torches and and pipes and everything I need. But I don't like to impose upon him. He's got 3 kids, and he's busy on his own. You know what I mean? So I decided not to, because I know, like I said, he'd be right there for me and do it. But it's not a pressing thing that I want to take away from his family. And again, he's the type of guy that would never do it. You'll find something. And if you're looking to spend that much, I'm sure you'll find something that'll be useful for you. Yeah, Gloria. See, that's the other thing too, and people don't realize. I actually did a live the other day with my friend Aldo from Crusades of Motivation, and we talked about that. Do you really need a gym membership? You don't. You don't need a gym membership. Is it nice if you want to go and you have the time? Of course. I do. I always have. I mean, I have a setup in my garage. I've had dumbbell setup for the past, 20, 25 years. But I just like a change of scenery once in a while. But if you want to be practical, you know what I mean? And I've said this to people before. A gym isn't always the answer, especially if you're a working person, right? Let's just say you're a 9 to 5 or an 8 to 4, whatever. You work during the day and you get out 4, 5, 6 o'clock later in the day. Unless you're the type of person that's going to leave your job and you have the time to do this and drive straight to the gym, do your workout, and don't forget, that's prime time at really any gym, right? That 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night. That's when the gyms are going to be most crowded. So you're going to leave work, you're going to go do your workout, and then go home. If you're a single person with no real responsibilities, all well and good. But if you have a family and time, I'm talking time-wise, can you afford to do that? Most people can't. So, and they're not realistic about it. You know, when they join the gym, in their mind, yeah, what I'll do is I'll go home and I'll have something to eat and and then later on, and you don't do it. You don't do it. You know, especially if the weather's shitty. You come home, you plop on that couch, you have something to eat. You're not going to get dressed again and then go to a gym and work out. 95% of people aren't going to do it. With any regularity, you might do it for a couple of weeks, and then the excuses start, and something gets in the way, and then you're paying for a gym for the next year, because in your mind you're saying, well, I'm going to go back, right? And all you're doing is giving the gym free money for a year before you do go in there and do that dance and try and get out of the contract. We're trying, Igor. We're trying. Like I said earlier, us old guys gotta. Maybe we're not going to keep up with them neck and neck, but at least stay on the tail, right? Those young guys. Yeah, old school. You're right. If you got a nice setup at home, then there's no excuses. Absolutely no excuses, right? Once you get that set up, you have the time. You don't have to travel. Right? All you have to do is go out in your yard, walk downstairs into your basement, go out to wherever it is. It's going to be no more than 10 steps away, right? Yep, Igor. We're eating all that chicken and steak. Getting that money. That's what it's all about, my friend. Yeah, it's time consuming, Gloria, to be honest with you. Really just to go out and film something, and by the time if you want to do any type of editing, you know, when I started this, I had no clue. I didn't know what editing software was. Actually, my son bought me a Filmora subscription for Christmas a couple of years ago. That's how I got started with that. But yeah, one 20-minute video. If you do any type of editing, you want to put a little bit of music in there, it turns into some time. It really does. Yeah, old school, I'm with you, man. I mean, there's many a night I got a little insomnia going, and I just shoot down in the garage. And it's always there. It's convenient, it really is. Again, no excuses when you have that set up. Thanks, Gloria. I know you're one of the people that have been with me from early on. I appreciate that. I really do. I've run into some good people doing this, to be honest with you. That's probably been the best return I've gotten out of this. And it motivates me. It really does. Part of it is, it motivates me to keep doing it. You know, I can't make suggestions to other people on things that I'm not doing. You know, but I'm never going to go to somebody and say, you should try this, you should try that, if it's not something I don't have a little bit of knowledge or experience in, even a little bit. But like I always say, you know, nothing works. There's no one size fits all. You can't paint everybody with a broad brush. All you could do is go with the fundamentals. My message is always this. This is what I find works for me. Right? I've done it. I eat this way. I work out this way. You might not enjoy it, but it's something that you can try. And you start in the basement and work your way up. But if you don't do it, you have to do it. You have to be your own guinea pig experiment when it comes to this. Right? What type of foods really benefit my body? What type of exercise do I get the most benefit from? You know, I go back to, you know, back in the day, way back in the day, talking to you young people now. But when I first started, I was still young enough, and when I started lifting weights, I got some really good results in spite of myself. You know, as a beginner, I really did, and I wasn't eating all that. I didn't know anything about nutrition. You know, I just had that benefit of youth on my side, and I got some good gains early on. You know, so you have to be willing to. I wish that I learned. But I always tell everybody now, I wish that I knew or realized the benefits or tried the bodywork stuff much earlier than I did. I mean, I'm glad I found it now and I have it as part of what I do, but that's why when I hear, you know, people, it just drives me mad when I hear people say, oh no, you can't build muscle, you can't, you know, you need weights. You don't need weights. Your body weighs something, right? Your body doesn't defy the force of gravity. So if you're 180 pounds, if you're 200 pounds, if you're whatever you weigh, it's all relative, right? If you're going to be pushing your own weight, you have weight. You have weight, so you can do it. You can build muscle. You can get in great shape. Yeah, they snuck up on me. Old school kids snuck up on me. But that's about it. I mean, you've seen since I've been here, right? Those of you that have been hanging out, I've been here for quite some time because even before I came on live, I was here for a good 30, 40 minutes. So yeah, and like I said, down this way, I'm looking down this way, there's a shit ton of kids playing soccer and whatnot. So, and it actually looks, there's a field over here in front of me again, and it looks like they're getting ready to go there. So there's no shortage of people in the park. Igor, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And sleep is so important. And that's another thing that I got away with for a lot of years. In spite of myself, my stupid lifestyle, the drinking, and I work shift work too, which didn't help. My hours were, I never in my life worked a 9 to 5 or steady hours. From the day I started, I got out of police academy, I was 21 years old. And for the next 32 years, I never worked quote unquote normal shift, I would work 7 at night till 3 o'clock in the morning, 8 at night, 4 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, 11 at night, midnight till 8 a.m. Just all over the place. I worked a lot of overtime, so I would do those crazy shifts and then work extra time after that. I never, ever, ever had a steady sleep schedule. And in the past few years, I've straightened it out for the most part, and it really is a game changer. It changes your life. You feel, I do. Well, again, I don't know that, I can't paint everybody with a broad brush, but I think that it benefits you so much. It really does. And to take it a step further, if you do some reading on your body's circadian rhythm, right? Every system in your body, every organ, every tissue, every cell in your body works on a clock. And this is way out of grasp for most of us, right? Because our egos say, no, we know better. We know better than our body. If you knew better than your body, you'd be waking up in the middle of the night telling yourself to breathe, right? Telling yourself when to go to the bathroom, telling yourself when to blink your eyes every day. We know shit. Our egos are so ignorant and so stupid. We're all alive in spite of ourselves. Okay, so our bodies are on this circadian rhythm, and it really does affect. There's plenty of research out there on it. It affects every facet of your life. Everything about your body. It leads to sickness. When you're out of sync. So yeah, it really does behoove you to try. And in my case. Again, out of ignorance, I had no idea what I was doing to my body, but that was my lifestyle for all those years. It was my job. I didn't know any better, and I did it. And again, maybe you'll do it, for people that are younger. And I got away with it. I thought I was Superman right all the way through my 30s. I thought I was, you know, I had the answers. And then once I hit my 40s, reality started to set in. I said, you know what? I'm not as smart as I thought. And there are ramifications for your lifestyle, for your stupid decisions. You know, that really does smack you in the face at some point. Yeah, Gloria. You know, the postpartum, and again, this is something I definitely can't speak of, right? The postpartum stuff, but I know my daughter's going through some things now. My grandson is just a year. He'll be a year old actually in a couple of days. So, you know, her and her, you know, they're actually looking to have more kids. Probably sooner rather than later, I would imagine, the way they're talking. But yeah, she just actually went for a checkup and had all her blood work done. But she's got a couple of things that she attributes to that too. So that really, because your hormones are, I mean, I would imagine it's got to take years for a woman's hormones to balance back out after that, because that's really stressful. That's a trauma to the body, the whole childbirth thing. And again, it's not as simple as just having the baby and going on with your life, right? Obviously you can attest to that. And from what I see my daughter going through now, it's not that simple. But obviously, you know, you seem like obviously you don't exercise, and that plays a big role in it too. My daughter has always exercised. She was active as a kid. She played soccer, she was softball. She was always into some type of sport. But even now into adulthood, you know, me beating it into her for the past God knows how many years, she lives relatively healthy, you know. So her pregnancy went pretty well, you know. But like I said, there's always going to be that's traumatic. That's a big stress on the body. Igor, I have no idea. I'm not timing it. I'm going to wind up doing 3 rounds of 10 down on, I'll do 10 down on the dips and the pull-ups, and every set of squats was 10. So if I do zip my lip for a minute, I'll finish up the set and I'll wind up with 165 dips, 165 pull-ups, and it should be 300 squats. In about an hour and 15 minutes, something I probably should have done in about 30 minutes. So. All right, so I just finished up. I did 3, 2, 1 on the pulls and squats. Sorry, the pulls and the dips. Finished up with 30 squats. So should be 165 dips, 165 pulls, 300 squats. Again, Igor, way more time than it should have taken me, but yeah, Glory. As a matter of fact, my daughter just got done with the breastfeeding. I mean, obviously from a health standpoint, right? It can't get any better for the baby. But there again, I'm sure there's plenty of women that run into issues. And honestly, I mean, I've known women that just didn't want to do it, didn't want to put the effort into it. They would rather just open up that can of formula, which again, it's really not a topic for this channel, but it goes into, most people aren't willing to put the time into their own health. So my point is that it just transitions into your attitude with everything else in life. But yeah, there's a lot to be said. And then I'll leave the whole pregnancy thing alone. But my daughter, we were talking about the weight gain with a lot of women. The whole, hey, I'm eating for 2 people. You're eating for a little baby, a little infant that's the size of the palm of your hand. How much do you think you have to eat? It's just another excuse to be gluttonous. I'm gonna leave that one alone. But I'm glad you're doing well, Gloria. Old school, no, I wouldn't go weighted every day. I have no issue doing body weight every day. I really don't. You know what I mean? You might not be able to keep up the volume every day but body weight stuff, if you're gonna go with any appreciable amount of weight, I wouldn't be doing that. Like lately, I started doing weighted pulls. So I'll tell you right now, my last session, I think it was this past Wednesday morning. And I always have to warm up with just some banded pulls for my shoulders. And so what I'll normally do is I'll do 50. This is what I'll tell you exactly what I did Wednesday. I did 50 banded pulls. And then normally I would use a 40-pound kettlebell, but I didn't have it there. I had a 30-pound, so I did. I'm getting all screwed up. What I've been doing of late is 50 banded pulls, then I'll do 50 pulls with a 40-pound kettlebell on the waist, and then I'll do 50 with a 30, 50 with a 20, 50 with a 10. This past session, I didn't have a 40-pounder, so I did 100 with the 30, which is what I did. But my point to that is, I certainly wouldn't go I didn't do any pulls. As a matter of fact, this is the first time I've done pull-ups since Wednesday. So no, I wouldn't do weighted. I'd come and mess around with weighted stuff every day. I wouldn't worry about that. Yeah, old school, again, what I just said, you just have to watch. If you're going to be doing a body weight, there you could just judge. I mean, you don't want to overdo it, obviously. You do have to give your body some rest. But my point is, like now I did some weighted pulls and dips. Tomorrow, I'd have no issue, and I probably will. I'll probably do some push-ups. Maybe I'll do some rows, some inverted rows, But again, if I'm going to strap on weight and do any of those moves, I'm not doing those 2 days in a row. Gloria, I don't. No, I don't, unfortunately. like really most of my stuff, I just kind of wing it. You know what I mean? How I came up with that 40, 30, 20, 10 kettlebell, I don't know. I was just in the gym and I just started doing it. I had the 40-pound kettlebell and I said, oh, I'm going to do 50 of these. And I was getting tired, so I said I better use less weight. So, you know, I did it. But again, you know, when you do the weighted stuff, it's not a race. You do have to rest in between sets. I don't have anything specific. Tim Effect is in the house. Hey, Tim. I'm actually down here. I'm down south, but I have the baby with me, so I can't get over to see you, my friend. But I'm planning on making a trip down solo real soon, so we're definitely going to get together. Guys, make sure you check out Tim Effect. Check out his channel. 69 years young and putting us all to shame. But Gloria, what you can do with the weights, I mean, obviously you want to do a good warm-up, and then do a few sets, you know, put on some weight and do a couple of sets with the weight. And what I do is, you know, the first few times I did it with the weight, with weighted, and then I finished off with sets of just body weight. And then I graduated to, you know, and I just pushed myself more and more. But you definitely have to rest and you know, do a weighted set, give yourself a good rest. Like, I put myself on a clock, so, and again, this is just me, you know, I'll do with the 40-pound kettlebell. I can get what I think are decent reps, 5 decent reps with the 40-pounder, and then I rest 90 seconds, and I'll do 5. So I'll do that 10 times, do 10 sets of 5. And then I'll go to the 30-pounder, but I'll lessen the rest time there, maybe go like to a minute and 15. Move to the 20-pounder, I'll rest a minute. I'll do 5, rest a minute. And then on the last set, I'll rest 45 seconds. But again, that's gonna be specific to everybody. But I can get out those sets. As I work my way down now, you know, when I get to the 20 and the 10-pound kettlebells, I might be doing 6, maybe 7 reps. Yeah, Tim, I really wanted to, but I'm not going to be able to get away for the day with, you know, my daughter's not having that for sure. I was hard pressed to get out here to the park this morning, so. But I'm definitely going to be down making a solo trip, and you know we're going to get together. So. All right, guys, on that note, I am being summoned. I'm going to have to sign out here. I appreciate everybody being with me this morning. Always appreciate all of you, you know, being here, interacting. Make sure everybody stays healthy. Wherever you are, try and get some reps in, whatever it is. It all works. It all works. Just do something with your body. Just keep moving. All right, guys, everybody stay safe and have a good day. And I'm going to talk to you guys in the next one.